One of the most overlooked but absolutely essential pillars of any startup is security, privacy, and compliance. Too often, early founders treat these topics as something to worry about later, after growth, after funding, after traction. But in reality, they cannot wait. From the moment your startup collects its very first email address or processes its first payment, you are responsible for sensitive data. Mishandling it can destroy trust before you even establish credibility. Security, privacy, and compliance are not simply boxes to check, they are enablers of growth. They build the foundation that allows you to earn trust, win enterprise customers, and avoid catastrophic risks. For early stage companies, these practices aren't about slowing down, they're about accelerating safely. They're the difference between building something fragile and building something sustainable. There are three major reasons why security and privacy must be top of mind from day one. The first is data handling starts immediately. Even the simplest MVPs collect sensitive customer information, emails, payment details, personal preferences, behavioral data. It's easy to underestimate how much data even a lightweight product manages. That data is valuable, and mishandling it creates risk instantly. The second is that trust is everything. Startups live and die by reputation. A single breach can permanently damage your brand, sour customer relationships, and kill momentum before you've had a chance to grow. Unlike large corporations, you don't have decades of goodwill to lean on. Trust is fragile and must be earned. The third is the regulatory reality. Laws like GDPR in Europe, CCPA in California, and HIPAA in healthcare don't care about your company's size. They apply the moment you handle relevant data types. Noncompliance isn't just risky, it's illegal. A deeper truth is that security isn't a cost center, it's a growth enabler. Strong practices differentiate you, earn credibility, and open the doors to enterprise sales. In today's market, customers and investors alike expect you to take this seriously from the start. Founders don't need to become cybersecurity experts, but you must enforce a handful of core practices across your organization. First, HTTPS plus SSL everywhere. Every web application and API endpoint must be secured. No exceptions. Even internal testing environments should use encryption. If users or attackers can access your traffic, you're vulnerable. Second, strong authentication. Implement multi factor authentication and role based access controls. Don't give everyone blanket access. Privileges should always follow the principle of least privilege, only the access needed to do the job. Third, encryption standards. Sensitive data must be encrypted at rest in databases and in transit across networks. Industry standard protocols like AES and TLS aren't optional, they're table stakes. Fourth, continuous updates. Vulnerabilities in third party libraries, dependencies, or operating systems are prime attack vectors. Regular updates, patches, and monitoring are critical. Automation is your ally here. Wherever possible, security practices should be automated. Automation reduces human error, ensures consistency, and saves time. The earlier you build automation into your stack, the easier security becomes to maintain as you scale. The message is simple: security isn't about fancy tools, it's about disciplined, consistent fundamentals. Beyond security, you must embed privacy into your product philosophy. The first principle is data minimization. Collect only what you truly need for core functionality. Resist the temptation to hoard data just in case. Every extra data point is both a liability and a compliance risk. The second is radical transparency. Be completely clear about what you collect, how you use it, and how you share it. Privacy policies should be written in plain English, not buried in legal jargon. Customers shouldn't need a law degree to understand your practices. The third is user control. provides self-service options for users to access, modify, export, or delete their personal data. This is not only good practice, it's required by laws like GDPR. The fourth is trust through simplicity. Make privacy controls obvious and easy to use. If settings are buried or complex, you erode trust and increase compliance risks. Privacy isn't just compliance, it's user experience. By making privacy simple, transparent, and empowering, you earn trust that becomes a competitive advantage. Compliance may seem overwhelming, but breaking it into basics makes it manageable. GDPR governs data protection for EU users. It requires explicit consent for data collection, data portability rights, and the right to be forgotten. If you serve EU customers, you must comply. CCPA applies to California users. It requires transparency about data collection and gives consumers the right to opt out of data sales, even if you're outside California. Serving customers there means the law applies to you. HIPAA governs healthcare data in the United States. If your product touches patient health information, compliance is non-negotiable. This includes technical safeguards and formal agreements with business associates. The key is to start simple, but start right. Implement clear privacy policies, cookie consent mechanisms, and vendor vetting. Every third-party vendor you use, from payment processors to cloud providers, must meet security and compliance standards. Compliance foundations aren't about bureaucracy, they're about building credibility and preventing devastating penalties. Starting small and disciplined today saves enormous pain tomorrow. History offers clear lessons about the importance of security and compliance. Zoom faced massive privacy criticism in 2020. Early missteps in encryption and data sharing practices damaged its reputation, but the company responded decisively with radical transparency, public audits, and end-to-end encryption. By rebuilding trust, Zoom turned a crisis into an opportunity for credibility. Stripe took the opposite approach. From the start, they built their entire business on compliance-first payment infrastructure. By making security and compliance non-negotiable, Stripe became the default trusted choice for startups and enterprises alike. Their credibility wasn't an afterthought, it was their foundation. On the other hand, cautionary tales abound. Startups that ignored compliance have faced devastating fines, costly lawsuits, and irreparable churn. Some never recovered. Customers rarely forgive companies that mishandle their data. The lesson is clear. Security and compliance aren't just about risk mitigation, they are trust signals. They attract customers and investors. They enable partnerships, and they protect your startup's most precious asset, its reputation. Security, privacy, and compliance are not burdens, they are enablers of growth. From day one, your startup is entrusted with customer data. How you handle that responsibility determines your reputation, your ability to scale, and your future. The fundamentals are clear. Secure everything with HTTPS. Implement strong authentication and role-based access. Encrypt data at rest and in transit. Keep systems updated continuously. Automate wherever possible. Embrace privacy principles. Minimize data collection. Be transparent. Give users control and keep settings simple. Lay compliance foundations early. GDPR, CCPA, HIPAA, and vet every vendor. The stories of Zoom, Stripe, and countless others prove that trust is fragile but powerful. Mishandling data can destroy you. Protecting it can differentiate you. The ultimate takeaway is this: don't treat security, privacy, and compliance as chores to postpone. Treat them as cornerstones of your culture. They will not slow you down. They will enable you to grow stronger, faster, and more credibly. In a world where trust is everything, these practices are your superpower.